Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, there was a young prince named Prince. He wasn't your typical spoiled, rotten prince. Oh no. Prince was just an ordinary kid, except for one tiny detail. He was only 9 years old and already looked exactly like this. Yep, he had the face of a baby, the body of a child, and the heart of a hero. Now, every night before bedtime, Prince would look up at the stars and dream of faraway lands. Of course, his royal parents would always scold him for making so much noise, but Prince didn't mind. He knew one day he'd become a real hero. He'd imagine himself as a mighty warrior, bravely fighting against evil dragons and rescuing fair maidens from tall towers. Prince spent his days playing with wooden swords and shields, pretending to be that mighty warrior. Prince poured out his heart to his mother, explaining how he wanted to be a hero, but how his royal duties were keeping him from doing so. But alas, reality was much different. It's about helping those in need and standing up for what's right. You can do that here at home. Just then, the king walked in and added, "Your mother's right, son. How could he become a great warrior if he wasn't allowed to leave the castle? You can start right here, by making someone's day." He knew they only wanted the best for him and he appreciated their guidance. However, deep down, he still felt a pang of disappointment. Prince stopped and watched them for a moment, feeling more and more like an adult. Maybe his parents were right. Maybe being a hero didn't require slaying dragons. Maybe it was as simple as bringing a smile to someone's face. Confused, but eager to please his parents, Prince asked, "How can I do that?" The king smiled and said, instead, he was expected to play house and visit old, sick people. Sighing dramatically, he left the castle, not to slay a dragon, but to check up on an old man. "Why don't you go visit old man G? He lives at the edge of town and hasn't had anyone to talk to in weeks. His wife passed away, and his friends and family are all out of town. I'm sure he'd love a nice visit." He sighed and slumped down on his bed, muttering to himself, "I'll never get a chance to prove myself." He'd charge imaginary foes and shout, "Beware, for I am Prince, the fearless, and I shall vanquish thee." One day, a traveling merchant came to the kingdom, and with him, he brought news of a terrible monster terrorizing a nearby village. Here he was, a future king, reduced to babysitting duty. Just then, he saw a group of kids playing a game that looked like great fun. She knew that deep down, he was a brave and compassionate soul, and she believed that one day he would make an excellent king. But for now, he was still just a little boy. The beast was said to be huge and hairy and had a taste for human flesh. Naturally, the king and queen were deeply concerned for their son's safety. "Oh, my darling prince," they cried, "you must never leave the castle walls. It's simply too dangerous." So Prince stayed inside, but he couldn't help but feel a little resentful, hearing her son's gloomy tone. The queen asked, "What is it, my love?" The queen understood her son's desire to be more than just a pampered prince. "Oh, my darling prince," she said, "being a hero isn't just about slaying monsters and rescuing princesses. You don't have to go far away to be a hero." Prince put on a brave face and thanked his parents for their support. All he wanted was to have an adventure, to feel the wind in his hair, as he rode a valiant steed or battled fearsome beasts. As he walked through the town, he couldn't help but feel like a failure. They were pretending to be knights battling against each other, with renewed determination. Prince went to visit Old Man Jenkins. And who knows, maybe his adventure was just beginning. The end.